from Lush Fabrics. I am here today to tell you all about one of our fabric bases that covers a huge amount of our range, and that is brushed poly. Brushed poly is a knit fabric. It is beautiful and soft, and it is incredibly versatile. It comes in single or double brushed, which means single it's brushed on one side, double it's brushed on both sides, and we often abbreviate those to SBP, so single brush poly, or DBP, double brush poly. So if you've seen that written anywhere and wondered what on earth it means, that's what it is. Okay, so brushed poly, I've got a couple of cuts here I'm going to show you. We have both prints and solid colors in double brush poly. So this obviously is a print. It has really great stretch, and that stretch goes horizontally and vertically, and it has great drape. So the stretch is about 80% horizontal and 50% vertical. We do write those down on our website, so that information is always there. You can see how beautifully this fabric drapes. Now the prints generally are not printed on the wrong side of the fabric, just on the right side of the fabric, whereas the solids are dyed, so they are the same color on both sides. And I've picked up white today just to demonstrate that it is quite opaque. So whites can be a little bit scary, whites can be really hard to wear sometimes. You've got to be very careful what you wear underneath and how sheer or see-through they might be. But brushed poly is pretty opaque. Okay, now a couple of things you should know about brushed poly, especially for these solid colors. So once you cut them, it can be really hard to determine which is the right side and which is the wrong side. It actually doesn't matter which side you use. There might be a slight difference to it, but not huge. So you can use whichever side is your preference, but just make sure you use the same side throughout your whole garment, or it could well be noticeable. So, I mean, the easiest way is just to mark the wrong side as you're cutting. But before you cut, the selvage is generally always rolled. So that's the side edge of the fabric, and that selvage rolls to the wrong side of the fabric. Now, brush poly, when it's cut, isn't too big on rolling. So some fabrics, once you cut it, the edges roll and it makes it really difficult to work with. Brush poly is pretty good until you stretch it. So this is pretty straight, but if you stretch this edge, it's now all rolled. Okay, and that rolls to the right side of the fabric. So the stretched edge rolls into the right side. So if you really need to know, you can do that, but it does make sewing a little bit trickier. All right, now what do I need to tell you about this one? So because it is brushed, it can create a little bit of warmth. That's not necessarily the polyester making it warm. Polyester, I think that this particular brush poly is a real new age polyester. It's not the polyester of old that just feels yuck, and it's just uncomfortable to wear. This is beautiful and soft and really gorgeous to wear, and it has so many amazing properties. But because it is brushed, it can create a little bit of warmth. Whether that's going to be too warm for you is actually just, it's a real personal preference. It's something that you're going to have to work out for yourself. We have, you know, people who are going through menopause and love double brush poly. And then there's people going through menopause and they can't wear it. There's people in far north Queensland who love to wear it, and then there's others who don't. So it really depends on you. For me personally, if it's a very hot day, high 30s or 40s, I do try to avoid wearing it, but if I do, it has to be a very loose garment. So as long as there's airflow for me, I can cope. But this is quite fitted. Obviously I wouldn't wear long sleeves on a hot day anyway, but you know, the bodice here is quite fitted. And even if it was short sleeved, if it was, you know, over 35, I probably wouldn't wear it on those days. It is great in loose flowy garments. It's great for layering in winter, or it's great for like a winter dress. because it's really beautiful, and because it's quite thin, it's like a t-shirt weight or thickness. It's very easy for layering. So the composition of this is 96% polyester, 4% spandex. It's 180 GSM or thereabouts. It's 150 centimeters wide, and I've given you all those stretch percentages. All right, let's show you some of the garments that it sews up into so beautifully. So it is such a versatile fabric because of its great stretch, because of its great drape, and because it bounces back so well. So this fabric shouldn't grow out on you in the day unless you're making something really, really big and heavy. It's not going to grow out on you. It's going to stay the same size. So dresses are absolutely amazing with double brush poly. So it can be like a simple little day dress, or like a little tank dress like this one. It's, it's fitted at the top and it comes out at the bottom. It's a classic fit and flare dress. It works beautifully in this style because it falls so nicely. Or it could be a tier dress. So obviously that carries more fabric. Double brush poly or brush poly gathers beautifully and looks great in a tier dress as well. Or you could do the longer length tier dress. This obviously creates even more weight, but it still holds true and doesn't grow on you during the day, even in that longer length and with that extra weight to it. Or you could just go a longer midi length dress with just the waist seam like this one, and you'll find as well, it sits beautifully, it falls beautifully. It's great for so many different things, this particular fabric. Or if you want to be a little bit more casual, it's great as a little t-shirt dress or a little tank dress like this one. It falls so lovely and it's just so soft that it's beautiful and comfortable to wear. It's almost a little bit like wearing a nightie, but you're allowed out of the house in it. Another thing you could do is just add a little bit of an interest to a t-shirty or a tank dress with just a little tie in the middle, and brush poly works really well with that tie because it has such great resistance with its stretch. Now, next, you could try something a little bit dressier again. So this one here has some princess seams in it, which makes it a little bit more fitted and a bit more shapely. And it just dresses things up. You're kind of dinner ready in this sort of a dress. Or you could go even tighter, or more fitted, I should probably say, in this next one. So it's really quite slim fitting the whole way through in this one. And because of the great stretch of this fabric, this dress is so comfortable to wear. If you like that fitted look, that slim look, you could jazz it up a little bit with just a little twist that this particular dress has, and it just gives it a little bit more detail. It's still nice and slimline. You can see it's really easy to move in. Or for total negative ease is this next one, and that is a print and a solid colour sewn together there. It's very tight, but it moves really well. I don't feel restricted in this dress. Okay, another thing you can do with brush poly is you can make yourself some leggings. Now, not all fabrics work for leggings. In fact, not a lot of them do. It has to be the right sort of fabric to make it work with leggings, and brush poly definitely does. Or you could go with some dressier pants. So these palazzo style pants, they drape so beautifully, pockets in there. Really, you can dress them up, you can dress them down, and they look amazing. Another option is a more slim fitting leg like these pants here. They're pleated around the waist, pockets again, but they come right in at the ankle, which gives a bit of a dressier look, but then put on some sneakers and that casuals them down again as well. I'm not sure if that's a correct expression, but anyway, I'm using it. Now, tops. Tops are fantastic in this fabric base, and there's a great variety of what you can use here as well. So just a cute little singletty top, easy to wear, easy to throw on, and most importantly, really easy to sew for this particular one. Or you can go with a different style, but you know, tank top again. And this particular top is a good example of not hemming double brush poly. It doesn't have to be hemmed as long as you don't stretch that edge so that it curls. And because of the way this one falls, that edge is not going to stretch. So this one is not hemmed. Okay, you could dress it up just with the print as well. So this next one is, I think, a little bit dressier, just in the colors and the print, but it's still a really simple tank top style sew. You can also, as I've showed you with the other dresses, you can put a print and a solid color together. And that's what I've done in this next top, and it's got the really cute gathered detail on the sleeve, just gives it a little bit of extra something, or it could still be a really nice layering piece. You could add a bit of drama with some length to your top, like this next one here. It looks really, not really dressy, but it looks dressier than just a normal plain coloured tank top might do. All right, so you can also, if you wanted to, make a bodysuit out of this fabric base. Now, you can't do that with every fabric base either. You do need some good vertical stretch in order to make a bodysuit, but this one I think looks pretty cute. Another thing you can do is you can mix your fabric bases. So this next one here is actually sewn together with a waffle knit. And I think they look great together, adds a bit of texture, a little bit of interest, and you can see how easily they sew together. You don't have to just use the same fabrics in the one garment. You can mix and match if you want to. All right, now shorts is another option for this fabric, and these sort of flary shorts are really, really comfortable to wear, and even better, they are the quickest sew. They are fantastic. I'll wear these on a hot day, no problem whatsoever. Skirts, this is probably one of my favorite skirts. I love this one. It's just got some really cute little pleats, and so it just drapes beautifully, and it can look quite dressy as well, I think, this one. And then the final thing I have to show you is a cardigan made out of brush poly as well. So I did choose a solid color for this cardigan because I knew you'd be able to see the inside of it, and it was important to me that it looked the same on the inside as it did on the outside. And I'm actually wearing this one over the top of another double brush poly t-shirt. It's a Thea top, actually, the long sleeved top, so a good layering option there as well. All right, so these are some examples of what you can do with your brush poly, whether it be single or double brush poly. The world is your oyster when it comes to this fabric base. There's so much you can do. We have a really large range of both prints and solid colors on our website, which is www.lushfabrics.com.au. So have a look on there, and hopefully there's something that you like. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.